Obviously, you hear an awful lot, don't you, about the lasting damage that smoking can cause. But does that actually change your habits? Well, this might. Maggie Bratton is from Newcastle. She smoked from childhood. She was diagnosed with mouth cancer 17 years ago at the age of just 45.
Listen to me. Smoking is not worth the feeling.
Well, that is Maggie speaking without the help of a plastic device called an obturator. But she joins us this morning at BBC Newcastle, Radio for the North East. And you look really well, Maggie. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So tell us what happened then as a result of the mouth cancer, because, you know, we heard you talking there. That must have been hugely terrifying.
It was something that I never thought I would ever get, and I'd never really heard of mouth cancer until I had it myself. And although I smoked 40 cigarettes a day, it was just something that I never thought would happen to me.
And it must have been terrifying because, I mean, obviously listening to you now, you've got the plastic device, you speak beautifully, but it must have been terrifying losing that power of communication.
Well, it was, and it took me an awful long time to get used to it. Because I had no feeling down the side of my face, and I had to learn to really talk and learn to eat again after I was diagnosed and the obturator was fitted.
Now, obviously, speaking out in public, it can be a really scary thing to do, but a brave thing to do. Why are you doing it?
If I can help one person pack in smoking, then I think I've done my job.
Yeah.
I can, the more people that pack in with what they've seen and what they've heard from me, that's my job done.
It's incredibly difficult to stop anything. Whatever you're addicted to, whether it's booze or smoking, or for some people it's food or exercise, all of these things can be hard, but smoking is difficult to pack in, but it's possible, isn't it?
It is possible. I remember the night before I had my surgery, I thought, I'll never do this. I'll never be able to pack in smoking. So I went back into the hospital, put my clothes on, thought, I'm going to go home because I'm wasting your time and mine. And the nurse said to me, just think of your children when you go to sleep. And I've never smoked a cigarette since.
Yeah, and it was just like that. You just start to think about those
I think
around
it was
you.
just power of mind, and I was 45. I was wanting to still be here to see my kids grow up.
And I can see how emotional you're getting, and it because it's a life-changing event that's happened to you.
Yeah,
and yet. How do you make people understand that it could happen to them? Because people very often just shut off and they don't want to hear it when they've got an addiction.
Well, I would have been one of those type of people because before I had this, I was very adamant smoker. Yeah. I thought, well, it's never going to affect me. I'm healthy, fit, but it did, and it takes no prisoners.
And what is your message then? So to people that might be listening to this show now, what would your message be to them?
I would say to them, give up now. Or if you're not a smoker, please don't start. If you are, give up now, because really, you don't want to end up like me.
And what do your family think of what you're doing now?
I think I'm very brave.
You are? Yeah.
My son's in Canada and he's listening to me. He's streaming me this morning.
And what's he called?
He's called David.
Good morning, David. Should
and
be
my
proud of your mum.
son, he was with me when I filmed the thing for social media and the commercial, and he's Peter.
Yeah.
So they're my two boys.
Well done. So life after quitting. Great.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Ailsa Rutter. That was superb, by the way. Thank you very much. And there is, Ailsa, you're from Fresh, a TV campaign just referred to there. What is in this campaign? What will make it hard-hitting, and will that message get through?
Well, just firstly, huge thanks to Maggie and to Tony, because their stories are just so there's this bravery, because these campaigns absolutely work. And when you have the real life case study here of somebody to say, listen, don't think it might not happen to you, because that's what I felt and it did happen to me. And I think, what we want to get across here, it's not just lung cancer, it's actually 16 different types of cancer that smoking causes, Alfie. And I think just Maggie can show that you can manage to quit smoking. And the other thing is, this happened to Maggie when she was just 45. Often people think, it won't happen to me, or it'll happen when I'm really, really old. So there's a message out here to say it can happen to you, but you can manage to quit. And we've got loads of help across the North East to quit smoking.
And like you say, it doesn't just affect your lungs. There are amputations. There's a story on Inside Out tonight. Michael Owens from Middlesbrough has had his leg amputated because he smoked. Have a listen.
I was working in Doncaster and I got a bit of pain in my foot.
Anyway, at 1:30 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. So I went to A&E and they said to me, you better get yourself to doctors. I said, what for? I said, oh, go on Friday. Finish early Friday. I said, you won't have a foot if you leave it till Friday. I know what people say, I'd hate to lose a leg, I'd hate to lose an arm. If you're going to be in pain, get rid of it. That's the way I look at it. Packing my fags in now is not going to cure my legs and not bring them back, is it? And I have tried to pack in. I just can't seem to do it.
That fascinates me, Ilse. Someone who's lost a leg but still won't stop smoking. A few years ago, I think it was Stoptober again, I went round a lady's house and she did stop smoking. It was too late, she had lung cancer, but all of her friends and family still were going out to a shed in the garden to smoke.
Yeah, and that's the power of addiction, isn't it? That, you know, despite all of that, people really do struggle to quit smoking. I mean, the good news is, though, that we've had the biggest drop in smoking of anywhere in this region. Actually, hundreds of thousands have managed to quit for good. And I think that's another key message to get across here today is there's loads of help to quit. Never give up on trying to quit smoking. It's never, ever too late to quit either. You know, one of our key doctors who supports our campaign now, you know, is very passionate around this because even if you smoke and you're on something like chemotherapy, it makes it much worse, the side effects and things. And what I would really like to get across, though, Alfie, is I don't want anyone like Maggie to blame themselves. Yeah. You know, smoking is a childhood addiction. Maggie started to smoke when she was a teenager. The reason, you know, that any of the anger, it should be at the tobacco companies. Because,
all my family smoked from very young. It was just everyone smoked.
And Maggie, the best thing about life after the fags?
That I'm still here and I've got a beautiful grandson and I'm proof that you can get help and there's people out there to help. And I'd really like to say a special thank you to Dr. Stuart Barkley at the Newcastle Dental Hospital. He's been with me all the way through this. He's brilliant.
Wonderful. Maggie, thank you for speaking so passionately on this subject. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can now call us free 0800